Our guest is Mira Penterman, talking about you, your pent-up, your aspirations. You've let it go.
Frustrated.
You're frustrated. You're stuck in a rut. You're thinking, man, I always wanted to do blah, blah, blah. In this case, Mira, you decided, what had you been doing that you decided, you know what, screw this. I've always wanted to write me a book. Now I'm going to write that book.
Well, I have been doing administrative and bookkeeping. It's something I'm really good about, mostly for entrepreneurs. And I was working with my husband. And it was just something
So you're under the thumb of your husband, and he's holding you back from everything that you held true.
No,
So you finally decided to break free of that. It's good for you.
Sounds like a boring job there, Mira.
If he didn't support me, I never would have been able to accomplish this, so I don't want to leave that impression. But it's important to go after, I've helped him with his dream, and it's important to go after mine. So.
Mira, let me ask you, I know someone here at the radio station that is very uninspired, in a rut, just going through the motions. Should I make a suggestion? I'm talking about, say, Dennison. He's going nowhere. Should I make a suggestion as far as kind of, do something different? He's been here for 30 years. He works 7 days a week. It's kind of, you're in a rut there, aren't you?
He does. And he is one of those guys. Now, Mira, we're not lying about this guy. This guy might. Would you say, Tracy, that the guy, he might take, and Mira, we're not lying, this guy might take 2 weeks of vacation a year.
So very hard work.
Maybe.
Does he do that because he loves the job? Or because if he really loves the job, then, maybe that's where he's meant to be.
I'm not sure.
So, but if he doesn't, obviously you can't tell him what his passion is, but I guess a guy like that doesn't take vacation, he really needs to spend some time with himself to sort of think about what are those things I used to love to do, and what am I good at, what might I regret not accomplishing, in the years to come. So,
but do you find people like that though? I think, Trace, you'll agree with me. I think he's one of those guys who thinks that it's almost like he's afraid he's going to miss something,
right?
Or somebody's going to talk about him. He's not going to be, You can't let go of your workplace.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah,
People like that. Somebody's going to let a fart and they're not going to smell it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not to be so crude, but that's the way my mom used to say that.
Absolutely. Or they don't want to delegate because nobody else can do it as good as they can. So that's definitely a disease that some of us suffer from. And, you get a lot more out of life if you learn to trust other people to do parts of your job so you can have more time off. But
now, is there anything else in your life that you want to accomplish?
Well, I want to keep writing, so I'm currently working on a couple of manuscripts. And
how's the book going for you?
The book was published as Firefly Beach, and it came out in paperback in September, and I've been doing a couple of book clubs. And I'm not a multimillionaire. It's not the bread and butter, but I'm real excited to have it. And
is money important to you?
Well, it's important to everybody. You can't quit your job and spend the 7 years it took me to write a book and expect to make ends meet. But as long as it's more important, I think, to have something under your belt that you really feel proud of.
But what's great? You just said it took you 7 years to write that book?
Well, actually, I started in 2003 on a manuscript that really wasn't that good. I didn't know it at the time, so I was very excited with myself. It wasn't until 2007 that I came up with the story idea for Firefly Beach. And that's when I knew I really had something. And so then it took, at that point, 2 years to get to publication date. But
I'm sorry, Mira, it's funny you should say that. My wife the other day, of course, she had about 9, 10, 12 glasses of wine in her, says, you know what, I'm not lying about that. She said, you know what, I hesitate to tell you about this, but I think I have a great idea for a book. Now, should I encourage, she gave me the thumbnail of it, You know how it is. If you can't sell it in a couple of lines, it ain't good.
Yeah, you can learn how to sell it in a couple of lines.
And so she's telling me this, and I was like, you know what, that doesn't sound bad.
Well, that's good. Then
but should I encourage her to do that?
Absolutely. And I have
some research. But she's kind of sponging off of me as it is right now, though.
Well, if you're not needing her income, obviously. And you can find time around. When I first started in 2003, I would find time, just turn off the television at night or stay up a couple extra hours. So you can find time around the amount of things that you have to do in your regular schedule. And we often do a lot of little things that we don't really need to do, tidying up and flipping channels when it's not really something that we want to watch.
Right.
Right. Hey, Mara, let me ask you. I'm in a bit of a rut in my marriage. Is it all right if I cheat on my wife?
Nobody's going to agree with that.
Yeah, I'm not going to say. I think that's going to cause you more pain than joy. But if you want to be looking back, your 80th birthday, and you want to be looking back at your life, that's probably going to cause you more pain than joy. So I would say pursue something that.
Why don't you write a book?
Yeah.
You played for 9 different ball teams.
Did I play for you? That's going to be the title of my book. Would you buy it, Mira?
Can I kind of play for you?
No, it would be
that's the other.
The title of the book, and I'm going to
Can I play with you?
Can I play with you?
Did I play with you? No, you can't, Mira. I'm married. I just told
that's
you.
That's a different book.
Yeah, that's on the road trip
that's
there in St. Louis.
That's going to be his website. But
that's the beat phone. That's the story on my beat phone.
Did I play with you is going to be the name of the book.
Well, I think that probably would be an eye catcher, and it's always good to have an eye-catching title.
So, Mira, if people want to, it's Firefly Beach. People can find out your story. They can buy the book, etc. at fireflybeach.net, eh?
.net, yes. And actually, for your mom, for your wife, I've got links on my website, and you can send me an email for people that are interested, and because there's a lot to learn. There's scams to avoid, and I learned the hard way, a bunch of stuff. So, I'm happy to, if I get 300 emails, it may take me a while to work through them, but I'm happy to talk to aspiring authors if I can give them some advice.
So, Mira Penderman, we appreciate you talking to us.
Well, thank you very much for having me on.
Take care. Let's do it again today. That was fun. I hope you had a good time.
Okay, I did. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And